Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen Lavenderclothesline, and in today's video we're going to do a hard goods haul. I feel like it's been a really long time since I did a haul. I don't know whether time is just slipping on by or if I really haven't done a hard goods haul in a while. So today I have mostly vintage items I've been picking up. I've been thrifting quite a few places. Today is yard sale day, so I'm just going to do this video quick and then hopefully get out to some yard sales. It is Labor Day weekend. We are on the run. So without further ado, I'm just going to go through the tables, show you what I picked up. A lot of the items I do know some things about, and quite a few items I know nothing about, just using my judgment. Now, not everything I pick up is a super high thrift profit return, but I do make a profit on 99.9% of what I sell, which is just amazing because a lot of times, you guys know me, I'm just racing up and down the aisles, throwing things in my cart. Don't know what happened to my voice right there. All right, hit that like and subscribe button and let's see what I bought. Okay, so I'm standing in front of the big picture window. It is a sunny day, but it's also a cloudy day, so the lighting is going to change a lot. I'm always looking for a better place in my house to film, but this is a dark house. And you know, it's one thing that I really wanted when I looked for a house was a house that got a lot of light. The windows are huge. I'm not quite sure. I think it's a lot of trees in the area that makes it a little dark. You guys are always saying, could you stand further back from the camera so we can see the item? And then half of you are saying, I can't see the tag because you come too close to the camera and the lighting blurs out the tag. So I'm either going to walk back and forth or we're just going to have to know what I bought. All right, right out of the gate, I want to share some glass that I found in one of the Goodwills. And the first one is a stunner. I could not believe how beautiful this was, and I could not believe it didn't break. This was in a bin. Can you believe that? Look at this thing. This is a gorgeous amberina, that's how we say it, glass decanter. Look at that pawn stopper. I'm calling it a pawn, chess pawn. I just made that up, but doesn't it look like a chess pawn? If it's not called that, it should be. Amberina is when the glass is gradient or it's ombre, so you can see the decanter starts out as a yellow down here and then it gets darker and darker as it goes towards the top. I don't know if it's always that way, if sometimes it's light on top and dark on the bottom. I have picked up amberina glass. I think this one is Blenko, B-L-E-N-K-O, I think it's spelled. Sometimes Blenko items are marked, sometimes they are not, but I could not find a marking on this. It's usually etched in the glass. I think quite a few of them are not marked. So I'm just going to say this is Blenko. If you guys know differently, feel free to correct me. I'm never offended, but stunner. Just stunner. Now the thing that's going to make this valuable and make this sell is this top, because when you have the decanter without the stopper, it still will sell, but the buyers and collectors want this stopper. In fact, when you find just a stopper and you don't have the decanter, you can sell these $30 to $40 minimum. And this one's a good one. I'm really, really excited about this piece. Can you tell? Let's turn it over carefully. $4.99, $4.99. I'm thinking probably, I hate to guess, 80 to 100. That might be high. I might be over enthusiastic about this piece, but I fell in love with this and I could not put it in my cart quick enough. This piece is another amberina. As you can see, it starts out almost clear. It just has a very small tint to it, and then gradient again, or ombre, where it's that beautiful orangey red color. And what did I pay for this? $2.99. So even the thrift store recognized that that first piece was more valuable than this one. This is a good piece. I almost didn't pick it up because it is so large. You guys know me. I'm really trying to be strict with myself and not pick up large items. I figure at this age, I'm going to be 61 this week, next week, something like that. I feel like if I really start disciplining myself, maybe by the time I'm 65, we'll have honed, the habit of picking up smaller things. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to groom ourselves into preparing for reselling at a later age. It's crazy. Okay, we're going to go down a rabbit hole. I want to share with you guys that if you are looking to resell and you are out in the wild and you are really looking to make money on a selling platform, one of the things that I find is the difference between successful resellers and resellers that are not successful a lot of times is intention. It's their intentional purpose of what they're doing that makes them successful. Having a vision or being really intentional in what you're doing, what your business practices are, what you're picking up, to me separates the big boys from the occasional seller. There's nothing wrong with being a hobby seller or an occasional seller, just selling things around your house or just enjoying the pickup. But in my experience, the resellers that are really successful, the people you see on YouTube, the resellers that we know in the community that are really making a full-time living, these people are very intentional, and it's my intentional to bring this thing full circle to start to really discipline myself, which is going to take time, not picking up bigger items. With that, I'm holding a bigger item in my hand, but just gorgeous. This isn't overly big, but who wants to ship big pieces of glass? Not really. One of the things that will make it easier is this is fairly thick glass. It's not the real thin, fine, champagne glasses. Those are like, oh, I really don't want to ship those. This is pretty sturdy. Again, I think this is Blanco, no mark, but it is Amberina, and $2.99. I will probably get, I'm guessing, $25 to $30 for this. Big profit difference between this piece and the prior decanter. All right, the next bowl or vase is a piece that I have found before. This is L.E. Smith, that is the brand, and you can see it's got this real flame. I don't know if this is stretched glass. I'm thinking this is made, it's blown and it's stretched. Not positive about that. But this is L.E. Smith. Now, if you put L.E. Smith glass into an eBay search, a ton is going to come up because it is very prolific. But they're sought after. I have done well with these. What did I pay for this? I paid $3.99, and I'm thinking this one is quite common. I know there are some pieces that the shape is more rare. I'm not sure if L.E. Smith made less of them, that's my thinking, or if there's just less in existence. This is mid-century modern, meaning the 50s, 60s. I'm pretty sure about that, not 100% sure, but $3.99, I'll probably get, I'm gonna guess 35, something like that. So that is that piece. Another thing that I wanted to share about being intentional, it just popped into my brain, so I'm just going to put it in here, is when you're very intentional, you have a plan and you're really focused and you say, okay, this is my business model, it's okay to change it as you go along. I think the most important thing in life, when anything is important to you, when you really want to accomplish something and it's going to take quite a bit of work, is to start with a plan and be flexible with certain parts of that plan. So with having said that, the thing I'm hoping not to be flexible in is picking up big pieces. But when a piece comes along and it's lightweight, or I think there's good profit in it, sometimes I do bend my rules a little bit, and I just have to become more and more educated and just really stay focused on what items it's okay to do that with and what items I should really turn my back on. So recently I posted on Instagram, found this gorgeous piece of luggage in the bins. I pop into the Goodwill outlet bins from time to time. I don't source a lot there because for me it's a very big time waster. I get to see friends. That's the main purpose I go. I love to just chat it up with other resellers. And when I was in there the other day, I found a piece of luggage. I disciplined myself and walked away from it. But a lot of times I will put those pieces on Instagram, Lavenderclothesline, so that if somebody else in the area wants the piece, they can go get it if they, have time in their schedule and the piece is still there. But the next piece we're going to talk about is a piece I found in a regular thrift store, and I'm going to get it. All right, so here is this piece here. How beautiful is this? This is needlepoint. I think it's needlepoint. I still have to keep separated in my mind the difference between crewel work, needlepoint, embroidery, you know, all the things. And I called this one, I don't know, is this crewel? Could be embroidery with yarn. You guys will correct me. You guys are great. All you sewers out there, all you handiwork people. I wish I had time for that in my life. I would probably do embroidery. But I thought this was just gorgeous. Now, if you find these, so it's a home done piece, it's not mass produced, this is somebody making it. If you find one of these, the criteria that I use is what is the subject matter? I turn away from like little children who are like in a country scene. Not that those are bad, those are cute. I'm sure many people want them, but those don't sell for me as quick. Like if it's like, I don't know, a Raggedy Ann and Andy, if it's clowns, but if it is butterflies, mushrooms, certain animals, a cat, always yes. Cats are always yes. I go ahead and pick them up. The great thing about these is it's not bad to ship. They're very lightweight. There's no glass on the front. So this can just be wrapped in a bubble wrap, sandwiched between cardboard, leaving a margin around the edge. Sometimes I'll even put a pool noodle around. So I just slice open pieces of pool noodle and put those around to protect the frame. But when it's a butterfly in a scene like this, always yes. And what did I pay for it? $3.99. Not quite sure what I'm going to get for this. I'm going to imagine probably 40, maybe around the $40 mark. So not too bad to ship, and the buyer will pay shipping. All right, we just lost the sun behind a cloud. Hopefully it'll come back out. Next thing that I'm going to talk about is wallpaper. You guys know I love picking up wallpaper because it's very easy to ship. You can put this tube, if it's over a pound, in one of the priority triangular boxes. I think there are small, medium, there must be large, but I'm not quite sure. I think the medium triangular priority box, this is USPS, is 46 inches long, something like that, 42 or 46. So this would probably go in the smaller one. But what do I judge wallpaper on? I go by the brand and what it looks like, and of course condition less. This is York. York is a good brand. It's a good solid brand. There has been wallpaper that I picked up probably over a year ago now. We got hundreds of dollars for the wallpaper. I think I had 2 rolls and it brought something like $130. I don't know who is spending $130 on 2 rolls of wallpaper. Can I please have that life? But these were $3. It is just a silver. It almost has a little bit of a metallic shine to it with a white polka dot. Those are what those look like. I got 2 rolls. I will not buy wallpaper if it's open because you don't know if bugs have crawled in and whatever, eaten the glue. It could get really messy. So I look for rolls that are closed, a good print, a good name, and you can always run comps. So for this I put in York, I think pre-pasted wallpaper, pre-pasted wallpaper, polka dot, and I just saw what the general price was while I was in the store. So I did pay, what did I say, $2.99, $3 a roll, $6 together. I'm imagining about $30 to $35 for the 2 rolls. All right, the next item up is a little pair of shoes. How adorably cute are these? So I know there are different companies that sell ceramic shoes, wood shoes for the shoe collector. I think what people do is they put up like a curio shelving thing on their wall and they put all different pairs of shoes in. It's almost cute. I don't know that I want to dust a million pairs of shoes. I'm always thinking about the maintenance, but these were adorably cute. They look very French to me. I hope this lighting is okay because it just became really dark in my house. Wood soles and almost like a French wire shoe. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna put my hand behind it. How good are these? I paid $1.99 for them, and I can't imagine you have a doll that size, you know, where the foot is very long and narrow, but I said yes to these. I have not looked these up. I don't ever look things up like this. For $1.99, a wooden and wire shoe. I can't even imagine how they made that wiring. Just beautiful. This wiring reminds me, here we go down a rabbit hole, reminds me of the paper quill art. Is that what it's called? You know the tiny strips of paper and you have a little tool, it's almost like a pencil type thing, and you curl the paper around it and you create beautiful designs? That's what this reminds me of, only in wire. So I said yes to them. Okay, right in front of me on the table, a Starbucks ceramic tumbler. So good. Now, the Starbucks mugs, you have to go mug by mug. The location ones are good if they're very obscure locations. Like if you found Bora Bora in a Starbucks ceramic coffee mug, I wouldn't even run a comp. I would just pick it up. This is not a location one. This is a tumbler. It's ceramic. It probably has the date underneath it. It's probably underneath the Goodwill sticker. I'm not going to take time to peel it off. But this is the mermaid, which is their most famous logo. Black, beautiful condition. It has the top, so it's like a travel mug. I don't know why somebody would want to have a travel mug, because I think that's always what the top is for. I mean, you could use it in your house so it doesn't spill on your desk, but generally I think they expect you to take this along with you if they've given you the lid. I don't know why you would want something so heavy. So if you want to buy it, ignore what I'm saying. You're going to love it. Don't worry about it. It's very heavy. Ooh. All right, so what did I pay for this? $5. So I think it's that good. I don't know if there are a lot of these, but if there are, mine will just wait its turn to sell, and I'm guessing 25. All right, next up, I was on the fence about this item. Should I get it? Should I not get it? After all these years, I still do that. So if you guys do that, no worries. When you stand in front of an item and you go back and forth, most times I walk away, because to me it's my intuition saying I really don't want to ship it, or that's too high, or who's going to want that. But this was so weird that I took it. So I'm going to show it to you. Maybe they're more common than I think. So this is a light up pumpkin head scarecrow Halloween Thanksgiving decoration. So somebody made this. It's a mold, and you see the light in there. It does work. I don't have an extension cord right now, and I'm not really close enough to an outlet. But he does light up, and behind his mouth and his eyes and his nose, somebody has put in, I can't describe it. It's almost like tape, but it has a pattern to it. It makes a really cool look to it. So for $2.99, the big investment of $2.99, I said yes to a pumpkin head scarecrow light up decoration. I think it'll do well. I'll report back with this one on my Instagram so we can all learn what these bring. Now, molds are plentiful. People have made molded ceramic pieces or plaster Paris pieces. You can find, we all know, Christmas trees. There is Santa and Mrs. Claus. What else have I seen? Angels. Houses, all kinds of stuff. I've never seen a pumpkin head, so it doesn't mean they're not common. I just haven't looked at the comps yet because I didn't have time to run comps in the store for every item, and because it's $3. Now if this was $20, I wouldn't have bought it, but I would definitely run a comp. All right, so as you guys know, I've been dating a man named Roger. He's a reseller, and we have been going thrifting a lot together. In fact, we'll probably go tonight. That'll probably be our date. We'll probably have to drag ourselves to dinner. Roger sells different things than I do. One of the things that has really piqued my interest is he's a big game seller. He sells a lot of board games. And when I go over his house, I love looking at his inventory. You know, when you are in a certain profession and you get together and you date somebody in that profession, when it's reselling, it is just so much fun. I get to see like what he's listing, what his thinking is. So he always goes down the game aisle, and he does really well with games. He knows games very well, as far as older games, more obscure games, rare games. And so it has caused me to go down the game aisle. I don't think I've sold more than like Monopoly. What else have I sold? Mystery date. Did you guys have mystery date when you were younger? I'll try to insert a photo here of mystery date. We used to scream with laughter playing mystery date. I am really dating myself. It was this board game with a little door, and you turned the knob and you had to open it on your turn, and it showed you who you were going to get for a date. I think I've talked about this before. So there was like the ski bum. There were all these guys, and we would just hoot and holler with laughter, my girlfriends and I. I don't know how my mom got anything done with us carrying on. But anyway, back to games. So when I go down the game aisle, I'm always thinking, what game am I going to pick up? I'm trying to pick up a game here and there, use my judgment, and hone my skills. So yesterday or the day before, it might have been yesterday, I picked up this Risk game, and it's in a wooden box. Now, for me, I really like to make sure that the pieces are there, but I will not count pieces. If it's a game, let's say you find Monopoly, I'm not counting all the money. I do try to make sure the tokens are there, but what Roger and other game sellers do is they pick up games that are very inexpensive for the extra pieces, so they always have the pieces on hand. So when he finds an incomplete game, he has a lot of extra dice, tokens, cards, community chest cards, all of those things. I'm trying to get this tape open carefully so it doesn't take the varnish off the wood. Okay, that's not too bad. Maybe Goodwill upped their game with what kind of tape they're doing. It used to be no matter what you pull the tape off, the finish came off. But this is the Risk game. This slides off. Beautiful condition. Looks like it's barely been played with. It has like the little travel board. And look at that, all the pieces. So I said yes to this. I love learning new categories, especially if the category is not something that there's high competition for. The thrift stores I go to, games are not heavily competed for. Rather clothing, of course Nike sneakers is, you can't even get a pair of Nike sneakers, which is just fine with me. Hard goods are huge demand in our thrift stores because Pennsylvania, we got a lot of hard goods, so people are really vying for them. But games aren't so bad, so I would love to learn the game. But all right, so that is that item. Let's go to the next item. All right, the next item I showed on Instagram quickly. If you find, how could I say this delicately? If you find different items with butts exposed offensive, you want to turn your viewing off because this is a little bubble blowing man. And the bubbles come out a certain part of his body. So if you have young children, you don't want them to see that. You want to turn the video off now and come back later when I pick up with other items. So I'm going to show you something called Bubble Butt. This is what it looks like. I'm actually going to open the box for us. It has never been used. I think this is vintage. I haven't looked at the date. When I see something like this on the shelf, I have to say, this goes right in my cart. I don't give this any thought because people just love stuff like this, especially for a gag gift, for, you know, all of the Christmas exchanges. So here he is, and he has a wand in his hand, and it actually comes with a sealed bottle of bubbles with the little cup, so with a little barrel. So how does this go? I'm probably not going to even do this. Am I going to do this? Of course I'm going to do this for us. All right. So it needs batteries. His hand dips the wand in the bubble solution and somehow air comes out and he blows bubbles. All right. Why did I buy this? Because everybody is passing this by. Bubble Butt cost me $3 and I'll probably make $30 to $35 on him. So great find, Bubble Butt by, who is this by? I always forget the brand. This brand puts out other stuff like this. I am looking for the name of the brand. I will put it on the screen if I find it. If not, you can look up Bubble Butt and find out what brand makes it. Okay, the next few items we're just gonna blow through. It's stuff I pick up all the time that you guys know that I gravitate towards this stuff. A wooden pig napkin holder. I love this. It's got a little piece of wood coming off of it. $2.99, and it looks like it might have come from like a like a country store or something like that. These could still be made. I have no idea. How much will I want for the pig? I paid $3 for him, and I have to look this up. This is something I won't know where to price it. I'm guessing probably $20 to $22. So that is him. The next thing I pick up all the time, always yes, angels, cherubs. I have a thing for angels and cherubs. I think the only angels I have in my house are the big guys, the cherubs that I bought those years ago. I've had those for a long time. I actually bought those in a real store. They were on sale, but they did not come from the thrift store, which is just amazing because everything in my house, pretty much everything, is from a clearance center or a thrift store. $3 for these angels. Love them. They hang on the wall. Really nicely made. I think there's, what is that? Wood? It sounds like wood, but I don't know. It's probably a composite of some sort. So I said yes to 2 angels. These will do well around Christmas time. A little odd item that I pick up, I almost always pick these up, especially if it's in the bins and I'm just hanging out and I don't want it to go to the landfill. This is Gourmet Delights. It is the Sisterhood of Temple Beth Israel. So it is the women of that temple putting together a cookbook. Who doesn't want all the best recipes from the women in the church? I love these kind of cookbooks. So I will pick these up. If I get them very, very inexpensive, I paid 25 cents for this one. There might be a ton of them online, but sooner or later this will sell because you don't find these so readily when you go into a bookstore. I imagine Amazon must have things like this, but there's no ISBN number. There's none of that. It's people in the church putting together a cookbook. I shouldn't say women because men cook too, but I said yes to this especially to save it. 25 cents. Off the top of my head, $15 maybe, so I said yes. Okay, I'm gonna start to wrap this up, 2 or 3 more items, and then I have to get listing. This next item, I always pick these up. This is kind of like a wire sculpture. This one's butterflies. I haven't found this one before. I paid $3 for it. It's all brass. I'm gonna guess this is 70s, maybe early 70s. It could be even older than that. I think these are lovely. They all move. So the wires or the stems actually move and then the butterflies move. So it's like a sculpture, a wire sculpture, I'm going to call it. And this one should do well. Well meaning probably $30, $32, something like that. All right, we're going to do some shoes because I've got a couple of pairs on the table. These boots, do not pick up this brand. I picked these up only this one time because I thought they were good. All right, these are Wrangler boots, but they are vintage Wrangler. So it's not the Wrangler that you find. Where is Wrangler sold, guys? Walmart? Kmart? I don't know who contemporarily sells Wrangler. These are the older ones. Now, the reason I like them is a couple of fold. Leather soles. Anytime a boot has a leather sole rather than the polypropylene or the synthetic or whatever, I have a tendency to look at it. If the manufacturer used leather as the sole, it's a very good sign. The boot itself is in beautiful condition. These are women's. Very clean, clean inside, clean outside. And what did I pay for these? $7.47. Wrangler Western vintage boots do not bring as high a return as the square toe boots. You know, the pointed toe actually brings less money in my experience. But I thought these were great. 7.5D, so woman 7.5, cowboys, southwestern, you know, all the keywords, and $7.47. Yeah, I would do that again. This next pair of boots was sitting on the shelf and my hand reached out and touched this part of the leather. In the cart they went. I really didn't care who was making them. I didn't care what size they were. I didn't care if they were in style. The leather is buttery soft and somebody's going to want those. They have the natural shearling fur inside, and this turns out to be, who is this? This is a company in Canada. They are Santana of Canada. You know what, I'm going to show you the label so you guys can see that. Santana boots can bring good money. Now there are a lot of pairs that will just bring okay money, but I think the leather, the quality, that it has this thick rubber crepe sole, this is a rubber sole I think, it's a good size and they're in beautiful condition. We'll carry them. I believe I paid $7.47 for them, so that's why I said yes to these. Zip on, zip off. Do we love that? Yes, we do. I am so busy in life when I have to lace shoes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta lace my shoes. It's crazy. You guys like that? Who doesn't love a good clog or shoe that it's just super quick to put on? I don't know, maybe it's just me. All right, another pair of shoes. I looked at them, I liked the style of them. So it is a peep toe. It's not even really a peep toe because the sides are open. Beautiful heel. Who's making this? This is Louise et C, AC, because it's ET, French. Louise et C. So it sounds like it's saying Louise's life et je me suis, I don't know. I'm trying to remember some French in my head to know what that says without looking it up. Beautiful condition. Again, $7.47. I think this will do well. I did comp the brand quickly. There are a lot of shoes that are just okay, a bread and butter brand, but there are some of that brand that do well. I think this is going to be one of them. And I will sit on these for a while because they're in just gorgeous condition. I always want to say new, but I'm very hesitant to call shoes new because sometimes people wear them in the store, and then once a person wears a shoe, even walking around in a store, to me it's pre-owned, because even though it hasn't gone out of the store, there's wear to them. And when you see that little bit of scuffing on the bottom of the sole, to me you can no longer call it new. New to me is when you pull the box off the shelf and you don't put it on your feet and nobody's ever worn it around. That's new. All right, enough of that spiel. What else? I think that's it. I have a few more pieces, nothing that great. We'll save them for another day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your interest, your comments. I'm sure you don't all know how many of you email me to help me with spelling mistakes I've made in my listings. So helpful. You'll say, hey Karen, you misspelled, and it's the simplest word, but I'm just throwing things on. So I do make quite a few mistakes, and it just means so much to me that you guys cared to help me out. Very much appreciate you. Also would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. 50%, over 50%, under 50, I think it's under 48%, something like that, of the people that watch the full video don't subscribe. If you would just hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button, I so appreciate it. I put out videos, or I try my best, 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Sundays. And yeah, that's all I got to say today. Thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.